Holiday season is approaching, and as a short-term rental operator, a vacation rental operator, an Airbnb host, you're going to have a couple unique issues happen this winter, and it happens every year. And this year I want to teach you the 3 things that I do in order to prevent our teams from having the typical cliche holiday issues that every single host suffers during Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving and all these other types of special holidays. You see, your teams, whether or not you hire them directly or you use a housekeeping service, they have families too. They have lives too. And if you run your business too hard and don't think about these types of situations in advance where your housekeepers may not just show up to work because it's a holiday, you're gonna have some problems. And so my company uses 3 separate techniques to control the amount of check-ins and checkouts that we have on holiday days and holiday eves without affecting our revenue, without losing a bunch of money just by not having business. So in this video, I'm gonna teach you those 3 things. I'm gonna show you what we do, and that way you can be a better Airbnb host to the people that work for you, and nobody will quit on you this holiday season. Sean Rocky Jeech, short-term rental expert, over 100 properties on the Airbnb platform and over $10 million paid by Airbnb to date. Let's teach you from, of course, my vast experience on how we handle holidays. Let's jump in. You're an ambitious host, you want to make as much money as possible, but you also want to be an empathetic host. You want to be the right type of business owner for your teams. And every year we come to the bottleneck of staff available for holidays, and what do you do about it? There are 4 techniques to surviving the holiday season. I'm gonna teach you all of them. Number 1 is like this video and subscribe for new content, because during the holiday season more will come. But let's move on to the 3 main reasons why you're here. Number 1, the most obvious is to incentivize longer stays that go across the holidays. Now, you have a pricing setting in any platform that you use, Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, you're allowed to give length of stay discounts. And so you can say that if somebody stays for at least 5 days, that you're going to discount 25%. Now, by doing this, this will lower the total volume of check-ins and checkouts per day. So, for example, look at it this way. If you have 100 Airbnb properties and your average length of stay is 2 days, that means you on average will have 50 cleanings per day, right? Because 2 days, 100, do the math. Now, if your average length of stay is 5 days, you're gonna have by far less. You're gonna have 20 housekeepings per day. Now, this can actually be applied at a high level to manage your human resources, which we talk about in my course, but we don't have to go there. But this idea, this basic idea, is a powerful one that if you master, you can solve a lot of your business's problems with length of stay manipulation. So you can do custom length of stay discounts if you have Pro Tools, and it's super easy to get Pro Tools. Just go to airbnb.com/multi-calendar if you've never been to that section of the website. And if you qualify for Pro Tools, it'll force load Pro Tools for you, and then your pricing section will have custom length of stay discounts. You'll have the ability to do rule sets on the multi-calendar, which we also talk about in my course, and rule sets are probably one of my favorite things to use, and we're gonna mention those again here in a second. And then if you don't qualify for Pro Tools, you can just add a couple extra properties. Like if you have a 2-bedroom house, list the rooms as private rooms, just block all the dates, and then load Pro Tools, and then unlist those properties once Pro Tools is loaded, and never use those private rooms if you never want to. That's a way to get enough listings to qualify for Pro Tools. So at that point, you go to the pricing section of your listing. So every home has a listing that you've created, and there's listing settings, booking settings, all that stuff. You go to pricing, and then in pricing where you normally put a weekly or monthly discount, you're gonna be able to discount as early as 2 days. And in a past video, I talked about how instead of doing a 2-day minimum, you can actually double your prices and then just give a 50% discount for a 2-day stay or longer. And it's a better version of using a 2-day minimum, because you still show up in search for every single search. And that's important because you want to get more views. So watch that previous video if you want to know power of the 2-day discount. It's pretty heavy. I'll put the link in the corner. From there, 2-day, 3-day, 4-day, 5-day, 6-day discounts, weekly, 14-day, 1 month, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 week, 8 week, I think all the way up to 10 or 12 weeks, you can do discounts, special discounts. And this is how you start to manage the power of length of stay. And if you don't understand the value of longer lengths of stay, there's a couple reasons why you might want to consider letting people stay for longer than you typically would as your short-term renter anyway. And one is risk management. If you lock up a 3-month long stay during the slower season of your business and you have 10 properties and you do that 3-month long stay on 2 of your properties, you only have 8 properties that you have to worry if slow season is going to be particularly bad. You're actually hedging your risk by like pre-committing away like 2 or 3 or 5, some of your exposure as we would call it, some of your risk exposure, and just let it all go at a very small margin or a decent margin, but at guaranteed income. That's a great way to hedge your risks over slow season. So do more research on length of stay discounts. I do a ton of videos on it, and that'll help you. More in the corner. Number 2 is by forcing people to check in and check out on certain days of your calendar utilizing rule sets. Now, normally, without Pro Tools, you can say that no one can check in on a Wednesday or no one can check in on a Thursday. But you don't want to do that because then you don't want to affect every single week. But Thanksgiving is coming up. And let's say you have 20 properties and you know that you'll have 3 housekeepers available, maybe 2 housekeepers available, and that's not nearly enough to clean all of your homes on Friday, Thanksgiving, like the day after Thanksgiving, and everybody did a bunch of cooking. Well, what you want to do is you'll want to get to the point where you get 4, 5, 6 checkouts on Friday. As soon as you have enough checkouts on Friday, you could use a rule set and take every single listing that still is, unbooked for Friday, and you're going to make a rule set that says no checkouts on Friday, but only for that one day of the whole year. And so what you've done is you've made a rule set that says no Friday checkout, and you can add extra stuff to the rule sets too. And if you really want to go deep on rule sets, I do have a small course. It's a pricing course, and I talk all about rule sets in my pricing course. And so it's like probably the best pricing course product on the market, by the way. With that said, you can manipulate check-ins and check-outs. You can also do the same thing for Thursday. So if you have too many check-ins already just for a day on Thursday, what you can do is you can make either Thursday no check-ins, or you can make a 2-day minimum on Thursday. You can manipulate every little detail of your calendar day by day using rule sets. And that way you can control the number of people checking in on Thursday, you control the number of people checking out on Friday, and you control the number of one-night stays on Thursday, if that's your preference. You can even make a 2-day, 3-day, 4-day minimum stay, and that's your thing too. But I just recommend controlling your checkouts on Friday and your check-ins on Thursday, so that way when you run on what we call a skeleton crew, like your very base, core, most loyal housekeepers, that they're not overworked. But that leads me to number 3, your skeleton crew. Number 3 is you can really build loyalty and build a sense of fairness in your business by doing holiday pay or a holiday bonus. Anybody who cleans a home on any holiday, the eve of or day after, like Thanksgiving, Thursday, Friday, anybody who works Thursday, Friday will get an extra $15 per home that they clean, or an extra $2 or $3 per hour. Simply by incentivizing holiday pay, you are recognizing that these people have other things that they could do and that their time is valuable. You will find that there are people who don't actually have family plans or just aren't big holiday people, and they will be happy to work on the holidays for you, but they understand that they're special and they should get a little bit of extra money. So by you doing a holiday pay, like a bonus, this will help you build on that skeleton crew and identify the people that typically tend to step up when you pay a little extra money for things. And this is awesome. Now, bonus tip number 4 is run a good cultural team. Run a good housekeeping crew where you express appreciation for the people on your team and where you're constantly giving love and thanks to your team, and have tight communication with them. And if you have a good, positive team environment, you'll notice that your engaged housekeepers will step up to the plate more often just because they like you or they like working for the company, they like being part of what you do. So make sure you bring in the right people to start, and by hiring the right people, you'll have a better skeleton crew, that base crew of highly engaged people that will do anything for the company. And if you want to learn how to hire housekeepers, train housekeepers, because obviously November 19th is right around the corner and Airbnb is adding their enhanced cleaning protocol, mandatory, then my course also covers how I hire, train, quality control, housekeepers, all of it. And at scale, at 100 properties, this stuff has to be tight. There's not a single other product for Airbnb on the market, education product, that actually goes into that detail. Every single other course that I've seen about Airbnb is how to get started. Like, hey, you can talk a landlord into Airbnb their home, and you just tell them what you're gonna do, and buy used furniture at at Goodwill or something, and then take some photos. Every single course out there is basic, except for mine. Like honestly, except for mine. And that's why I think over half of the people who've bought the course so far are current Airbnb operators with multiple properties that want to just get better at this. So the course is not just for new people. There's actually plenty of stuff for someone like you who wants to know how to run a better Airbnb business. I will say that as a business owner in multiple businesses, it's striking how similar a lot of the business best practices are from one industry to another. Running and managing and hiring salespeople for a sales team, housekeeping crews, customer service staff, it's all wide. A lot of the business best practices that you can learn and apply as a business person will apply to your Airbnb business. So treat it like more than just a how to Airbnb, but how to run a company is really what I'm trying to accomplish with that course. I'll put a link in the description. You can talk to Alberto for free. He's my right-hand man for the course and spends almost pretty much every day of the week talking to Airbnb hosts like yourself about what's in the course and whether or not there's actually something worth your time in there. So I highly encourage you, click on that link, schedule a call with Alberto, and just talk his ear off, ask all about the course, and he'll tell you everything you need to know. Of course, no obligation. So if you have more questions about the holidays, of course, that's the whole point of this video. If you want any specific feedback on what you can do to run a better holiday season rental, put it in the comments. But no, do not get a Christmas tree and do not over decorate for the holidays unless you have a $10,000 per month revenue generating property or more. Unless you're in that category, do not spend money on seasonal decorations. I know a lot of you are gonna ask, just let's get that off the table. But anything else, put it in the comments. Love you guys, thanks for watching, happy holidays, and I'll see you on the other side.